Welcome back. This segment is to introduce you to all of our different modules. Now, of course, you won't have all of these modules because some of them don't apply to you. However, this is an overview of the entire software package and what's available. So right here, you'll see that we start off with a system manager. The system manager actually controls how the users will access the program. It will identify the users themselves as well as the access that they have. One nice thing about it is that our program access has every single function available, and you can decide at this point whether the user has the right to read or write that one, read it only, or have no access whatsoever. This also controls their preferences, such as their email address and whether or not they can post things, how things are going to appear on their screen. The nicest thing about our software is that we also have an activity log. Our activity log actually tracks every single transaction that occurs within the software. So I can go to any day and look at what actually happened. Every single keystroke is tracked. I can see when somebody or if anybody deleted a record that they shouldn't have, or if they edited a record. However, I cannot see if they did edit a record, I cannot see what they changed. Returning to our main menu, our next module is the General Ledger. The General Ledger is where all of your financial work is done. It also has all of the drill downs, so if I needed to see, for instance, where a particular transaction came from, if I wanted to see what this transaction was right here, for instance, I could come over here to the details screen and be able to see that, oh, that came from a cash receipt and then it got reversed because it didn't belong to this particular bank account. And if I really wanted to see the entire transaction, I can click on the drill down and it will show me the entire transaction on the screen, thus allowing me to make better decisions on what to do with that transaction. The other thing that the software does, of course, is the financials. With our financial report wizard right here, we are able to produce all of our financial statements, both income and balance sheet. We're able to tell it the period that we want to see, or if we want to see all the periods, by simply choosing on our next screen whether we want to see current period, compare it to the previous year, look at it according to our budget and what our budget was last year. We can control that all right here. It'll also allow us, once we're finished with this, to go on and produce the statement on either the screen, the printer, or to an Excel spreadsheet. And of course, this is where you would close all the years. If you're not using our general ledger system and you choose to use a different financial reporting service, the system will produce a financial snapshot, so to speak, that tells you what your credits and your deposits are, your credits and your debits are, and the account number that they go to, so that you can actually do a journal entry within your existing software. So if I come all the way out here to the end, you'll see that yes, we do balance. And that kind of concludes what the general ledger will do for you. The next module that we have is, of course, the bank reconciliation module. The bank reconciliation module is exactly that. It allows you to reconcile your bank by simply entering what your balance is off of your statement, checking what has cleared and what hasn't cleared, and then completing the reconciliation. If the transaction was not done with a check or a deposit, or, in other words, was done within the general ledger, that would be on our unreconciled tab, and you would see the general ledger transaction here to clear it off of the screen. You would then go, the next module we have is our accounts receivable module. So if we hit the accounts receivable module, this is where you would record your cash receipts. You would also do your inquiries for your customer. So if you needed to see, for instance, what the status of a customer was, you could easily type it in here, EUR EURW and F2 to look it up. Let's say EURW. Let's say it's this one right here. This will automatically tell me how much I've done with them since they became a customer. It will tell me what I've done with them year to date, what I've done with them this month. It will tell me what they owe me. And in the bottom grid area, it will tell me the individual invoices and how they paid for those invoices below that. So this particular invoice was paid with check number 082710. I can also click on my customer tab and be able to see all the information about the customer, including any notes that we have for this customer. And I can also look up their sales history. By clicking on this tab right here, it will automatically bring up everything this customer has ever purchased from me, which I can sort any way I want by simply choosing the description, or let's say I want to choose the item number, and I want to search if they did, for instance, let's say I want to know, did they ever buy 205, 201 from me? Well, sure did, and there they are. That every time they bought it, what they paid for it, how many they bought, and what date. The next tab lets me look at any open orders I might have with them and what the status is of those orders, including the required date and cancel date. I also have the shipped orders, so I can see that this order was shipped under invoice number 93175, and this is what was on that order. I can also analyze the sales for this particular customer, which gives me a 2-year comparison by month and shows me everything that they've done, including a variance at the very bottom compared last year against this year. The next module that we have is going to be our accounts payable module, and that is exactly that. It's pretty self-explanatory. You would enter your invoices here, and you would process your checks and payments here. Of course, all modules have a tremendous number of reports built into them. Next module is going to be our sales order module, and that is where we would enter orders from customers. We would also invoice those orders. We would also do our return authorizations, credit memos, and bulk invoicing if we're doing any kind of EDI work. We would also do all of our reprinting of invoices from here for a customer and bulk emailing out of those invoices to our sales reps from here. Again, we have plenty of reports to help us with that function. Our next module is our contact manager, which allows us to track conversations or emails or whatever we've done, whatever activity we've done with a customer based on the specific contact within the customer. So if you're using this for your collections process, it's very easy to set reminders to tell you, oh, the customer said call them back next week so that we can collect this money. And all their excuses, of course, are also recorded at the same time. Our next module is our inventory module, and this allows us to obviously add inventory, manage the inventory, find out what we need to order, manage our bill of materials. It also allows us to do all kinds of inquiries. So if I wanted to see how good an item sells, let's say it was that item 205, 201, the system would automatically give me all the information I want to know about that item. In addition to that, it will tell me what I have in my warehouses, and if I have any committed to orders, I can see that right here. I can see that on this particular item, I have 553 in stock. I also have 119 committed to open sales orders, and by clicking on it, I can see who has it on order, how many they have on order, and when I'm supposed to ship it. And that same note, I can also see how many I have on purchase order, who I have the purchase order with, and what the ETA, expected time of arrival, is for that product. If I have goods on the water and I am using the container tracker, I would have this field filled in right here, and as you can see, I have 4 pieces that are due in on 124 from container number 110178. This information is readily available for all of your customers, all customer service people, I'm sorry. On our images, if there was a picture of it, it would be right here. And this would be our vendor tab where we get the goods from. This is our special pricing tab. And this is our sales tab. Our sales tab will give you a sales analysis of this item by month, a 2-year comparison, units and dollars. Anything in red is the differential on the bottom that says that we did less this year than we did the year before in that particular month on this particular item. Moving on, our next module is our container tracker. And our container tracker allows us to build a container for a product once our broker tells us that the goods are coming. The nicest thing about it is that I rarely see any customer that has a container that exactly matches the purchase order that I sent to the vendor. So in this case, what the system does allow us to do is it allows us to do split lines. So we can actually fill in the actual quantity we're getting, and the system will then automatically split the line for our purchase order. Our next module is our purchase order module, and the purchase order module is exactly that. It allows us to issue purchase orders to our vendor. The nice thing about our purchase order module is that as long as you fill in the weight and CBMs, the system will automatically cube the container for you as well. The next module that we have is the developer unit, and this is used by us, the programmers, to add modules or upgrade modules. Data import is something we don't actually provide to the customer because it can be very dangerous. This is what we use to convert data. Our report writer, I'm going to skip our report writer for right now and continue on to our manufacturing module. Our manufacturing module will allow you to actually do full production manufacturing with the software. It will produce travelers and move things from inventory to work in process, from work in process to finished goods, and along the way calculate the processes such as labor and overhead in the cost of the goods. Our order fulfillment module allows you to actually fill orders in the warehouse using a scanner. As you pick the orders and pack them, you can actually scan them, and it basically will back order anything that has not been scanned. Credit card processing comes with each system, and that is allowing you to do credit card processing from the invoicing screen automatically through the internet. Inventory segment is specifically for customers that have variations of items. So for instance, let's say you sell plates. Those plates come in 12 sizes and 14 colors. Rather than have to hand enter each one every time you add a new color, you simply use our variation module, add the new color, and match it up to the exact plates that color is available in. Our warehouse management system is an RF controlled warehouse system. It's rather expensive. It is for the larger customer, but it is very expensive. It takes about 6 months to implement. Back to our report writer, which is our last module that we're going to talk about. This is our free-form report writer that allows you to produce reports in any format that you want using any of the databases with any of the criteria. The system does come with 132 pre-designed reports, so I normally will challenge you to say, listen, if you can find something that's not here, let me know and I'll add it. That kind of concludes what our modules are. If you'd like more information or you'd like a personalized demonstration, I would love to give it to you. My name is Sherry Halstead, and I thank you for your time. Our phone number is 770-214-2053, or I can be reached on my cell phone at 678-596-3857. I look forward to hearing from you.